In the kingdom of Pina, a ritual tournament is being held in front of the king. The leader of the royal guard and the leader of the kingdom's mercenaries are about to face each other. The winner will take on Noctania, the kingdom's princess and the previous tournament's winner. Before the tournament can begin, a red-haired man called Adlet appears and says he will fight the two men instead, declaring himself the strongest man in the world. When the royal guards surround him, Adlet throws dozens of tiny poison darts and defeats them all. The two tournament competitors attack him, but Adlet skillfully dodges and throws a smoke bomb. Obscured by the smoke, he throws poison spikes to the ground and defeats the royal guard's general. While that was happening, the mercenaries' general stepped on the spikes and was poisoned and immobilized. After the fight, Adlet announces that his real goal is being selected as one of the braves of the 6 flowers, before he is finally stopped and taken away by the royal guards. Locked up in prison, Adlet is visited by a cheerful blonde girl who is impressed by his fighting skills and wants to get to know him. Despite being defeated and imprisoned, Adlet still firmly believes he is the strongest in the world and that he will be chosen as one of the 6 braves. After the ritual tournament was held once again, both the kingdom's generals were beaten by Noctania, making a candidate for one of the braves. There is a legend that 1,000 years ago, a demon god appeared and began attacking people. He split himself into more demons called fiends who spread their chaos too. The people despaired until a mysterious figure called the Saint of the Single Flower appeared and helped them. She defeated the demon god, but warned the people that he will awaken again. She prophesies that every time he awakens again, 6 heroes will be chosen to defeat him. The heroes first have to prove their worth in temples built by the Saint of the Single Flower. If they are worthy, a mark of 6 flower petals will appear somewhere on their bodies. The next day, Adlet gets thrown into a hole as punishment for interrupting the ritual. Many days go by with Adlet imprisoned, but he remains cheerful and continues training. One night, the sky turns red and the demon god finally awakens. Adlet wakes up from a strange dream and the mark of the 6 flowers appears on his hand, which proves that he has been chosen as one of the 6 braves. Shortly, the blonde girl from before approaches his prison and introduces herself as Noctania. She is known as the Saint of Blades and has also been chosen as one of the braves. Summoning magic blades, Noctania frees Adlet from his prison, and the two of them escape riding horses. As a rule, those chosen as the 6 braves will gather at the entrance to the land of the demons, so the two of them head in that direction. When they make a stop at a fruit orchard outside of Pina, Noctania enjoys her newfound freedom, but Adlet can't keep up with her. Continuing their journey, they settle down around a campfire. Noctania tells Adlet about a civil war that broke out in Pina 6 years ago. Her father was blamed for starting the war, which is why the Prime Minister of Pina now has all the power. Since her mother and brother have died, Noctania is the only surviving member of the royal family aside from her father. During the civil war, her father ordered her execution, forcing her to run away scared for her life. Now she wants to defeat the demon god so that the people of the world can live peacefully without being afraid. The next morning, Adlet and Noctania continue their journey. 6 months before, Goldov, the leader of Pina's knights, left on a journey to find someone who has been killing candidates for the 6 braves. In the last 6 weeks, they haven't heard from him at all. Adlet and Noctania enter the country of Gwenbir. Noctania is scared of encountering a fiend, but Adlet makes her laugh and helps her relax. Suddenly, they see a family of 3 running away from fiends. Adlet and Noctania rush forward and see fiends attacking innocent civilians. Using a flute that only fiends can hear, Adlet gets their attention and fights them with the help of Noctania. With the fiends defeated, Adlet and Noctania help the civilians but hear that there is a girl left in the city. Noctania doesn't believe the girl can still be saved and wants to hurry towards the other braves instead, but Adlet heads out towards the town anyway. He believes he can both defeat the demon god and save innocent people on his way. Arriving at the demolished city, Adlet sees dead fiends and notices they have been shot by someone's rifle. Walking through town, he notices a white-haired girl with a rifle and approaches her. The girl is suspicious of Adlet and points her rifle at him. Adlet shows her he has the mark of the braves and the girl introduces herself as Flamey, another one of the chosen braves. She asks him if he has come to kill her and he is confused, not knowing why braves would kill each other. Meanwhile, Goldo finds Noctania and turns out to have been chosen as a brave too. Goldo is a black-haired knight who loves Noctania and promises he will protect her, but Noctania is annoyed with him, saying they are both braves and should be equals. Goldo tells her he found out who the brave killer is and says that she looks like a white-haired girl named Flamey. At the city, Flamey tells Adlet she is the Saint of Gunpowder and that the braves should leave her alone because she will defeat the demon god all by herself. Adlet tells her all 6 braves are needed to kill the demon god, but Flamey tells him she won't join the other braves because they want to kill her. Threatening him with her rifle, Flamey walks away, but Adlet still doesn't give up on her and manages to steal her bullet pouch. Having no other choice, Flamey reluctantly follows Adlet, who tells her he wants to help her. Meanwhile, Nakatania and Goldov are attacked by fiends but quickly defeat them. While Nakatania fights with magic blades, Goldov fights with a spear. A horse arrives bringing a message from Adlet, telling them he is chasing another brave and that they will meet up in the land of the demons. Listening to Adlet, Nakatania and Goldov continue their journey. Somewhere else, Adlet travels with Flamey, asking her numerous questions and being talkative, but Flamey ignores his questions. Shortly, they reach the land of the demons, a territory where any normal human would get poisoned and die. The two of them approach a fortress and the soldiers there tell them the other braves already met up and left 2 days ago. The soldiers let them in and their leader, a man called Lauren, welcomes them. Since the generals and commanders all died, he is leading the few soldiers that are left. Lauren tells Adler and Flamey about the phantasmal barrier, a barrier that will prevent the fiends from the land of the demons to pass through to the rest of the continent. When all the braves gather, they are expected to visit a temple deep inside the forest and activate the barrier. Leaving the fortress, Flamey is ambushed by Nakatania. When Goldov tries to join the fight, Adlet stops him. Adlet fights Goldov, but also doesn't let Flamey shoot him. Suddenly, Adlet speaks out, saying Flamey is one of the braves, convincing everyone to stop fighting. Nakatania says that Flamey is the brave killer and Flamey confirms it. She admits she has killed a number of people with the potential to become braves in order to protect the demon god. However, Ryra, the Sun Saint, isn't among her victims. Adlet still doesn't let the others attack Flamey because he doesn't believe she really wanted to revive the demon god and was even chosen as brave. Nakatania and Goldov agree to trust him, but still don't trust Flamey. While the four braves are traveling through a forest, a fleet of flying fiends attack them, dropping bombs. Adlet and the others hurry until they encounter more fiends on their way. Using their abilities, the four braves fight until Nakatania tells Adlet to go ahead towards the temple where the phantasmal barrier can be activated. Hurrying ahead, Adlet finds the temple and notices woman collapse on the floor. Approaching the temple's gate, Adlet uses a bomb to open it. As soon as he does, 2 suits of living armor attack him and he realizes the collapsed woman was a fiend in disguise. Suddenly, a fog descends and Adlet enters the temple. Inside, he finds out someone has already activated the phantasmal barrier, but doesn't see anyone. Nakatania arrives together with the others, realizing they have all been sealed inside the barrier. They try turning the barrier off, but nothing works. At that moment, an innocent-looking girl emerges from the darkness. She introduces himself as Chumut, the Saint of Swamps, and one of the 6 braves. Immediately, she wants to kill Flamey, but Nakatania stops her. Since she fought her before, Chumut knows Flamey is the brave killer. A serious black-haired woman named Mora enters the room and introduces herself as the Saint of Mountains and another one of the 6 braves. Next, Hans, an easygoing man with blue hair, appears. He is also one of the braves. Now that they're all gathered, they realize there are 7 braves instead of 6 of them. Every one of the 7 people gathered also has the mark of a brave in the shape of a flower. Hans concludes one of the braves is an impostor and everyone gets suspicious of each other. Mora says the barrier can be disabled only if the person who activated it deactivates it or if that person dies. She says that neither human nor fiend can penetrate the barrier and it can't be activated from outside. Learning all this, the braves realize that one of them must have activated the barrier. They decide to take turns and talk about themselves in order to learn more about each other. Mora says that she is the leader of All Heaven's Temple, the temple that supervises all the saints. Strangely, she doesn't know Flamey, so she concludes that Flamey is a newly created saint which hasn't appeared in a century. Mora also replaced the Sun Saint Ryra 10 years ago. Chumut says she is incredibly strong and has killed a person by accident before. On her way to the land of the demons, she fought Flamey, but Flamey lost. Hans introduces himself as an assassin who the king of Wenbier paid to kill the demon god. When it's Flamey's turn to talk, she reveals that one of her eyes is red and that her father is a human, while her mother is a fiend. She was born specifically so she could kill candidates for the 6 braves and help revive the demon god, but with time she changed her mind. Chumut immediately suspects Flamey of being the 7th brave, but Hans disagrees, saying she had the chance to kill Adlet. After everyone introduced themselves, Adlet tells them what happened when he first came to the temple. He says he had to blow up the gate. It turns out Mora had the key with her. When he entered the temple, a sword was already inserted into the activation mechanism of the temple. He also thinks that the barrier activated the moment he forced the gate open. Since he knows a lot about seals, Hans notices that there was no way to enter the temple before Adlet opened it by force. He doubts that Adlet is telling the truth, since the door can't be closed again once it's been opened. Adlet desperately tries to think of a way that someone entered the temple before him, But the other Braves prove every one of his theories wrong. Mora knows there are no saints who could enter the temple and seal it again. Flamey even confirms there are no other saints that are half-fiends except her. Almost everyone suspects Adlet, only Noctania trusts him. Suddenly, Goldov attacks him, making everyone else attack too. Adlet throws a smoke bomb and uses the confusion to take Flamey as a hostage. Throwing a flashbang, he runs away outside the temple, but Hans manages to hit him with a throwing knife while he is running. The other Braves run after Adlet, but discover he has thrown poison spikes on the ground before he ran away, slowing them down. Hey, thank you for staying all the way till the end. If you enjoyed the video, give it a like. It takes only a second, but it means everything to us. Have a great day and see you in the next video.